being honored by the Indian government several times. So they discussed that with me.
So Ria, congratulations on making it into your first dream company, and it's
Thank
a long,
so
successful journey which we hope for you. So we just want to know where you're currently working and what's the role you're in.
Sure. So I'm basically currently working in OLX Group, which is based in Curacao, and the headquarters are in Amsterdam. And I was very fortunate to be enrolled with Edyst in my third year, and I was placed in my sixth semester. That is the second semester of my third year, with when I was currently enrolled with Edyst. So that was the time, and I have an intern plus a full-time offer with OLX Group, and I am right now an intern technology and a backend developer in OLX Group.
Wonderful. So, Ria, can you tell us a little bit about what was your experience on the Edyst program and the platform?
Sure.
What did you learn on that, and how did you go about it?
Okay, so now let me be very fairly honest here. I was a person who was very keen and into learning front end and back end and data structure as well. So, I was the person who wanted to grab my hands in each and everything I could get in my way. But the hurdle before meeting with Edyst was I was facing was I have to hop and jump over website to website to find practice things, to find some learning blogs, to find tutorials and everything. So I was very confused, being very honest with you. But yeah, when Chatkara University gave me this blessing in disguise, you can say, they gave me the Edyst portal, and when I went onto that, the best part I felt onto the Edyst portal was I was introduced to such huge practice things, and the best 2 to 3 things I'll mention here for my juniors as well here. First of all, the sessions by Anik are absolutely amazing, guys. A thumbs up for Anik. He is a very lovable person. I appreciate that a lot. And the second thing was, there is a section in the Edyst co-curricular platform where you can go into the previous year questions by different companies, and you have a set of questions. For instance, I'll just elaborate it for you guys. So the thing is that there is array, okay, array, and then linked list, and then hash maps, and then graphs, and then trees. So you basically have around 50 to 60 questions per data structure in which you can dive in, and trust me, I have given the interview. All the queries and all the questions revolves around those 50 to 60 set of questions. So that was something very nice in the Edyst platform I found. And the practice questions and the practice tests we had, weekly tests and the monthly tests, and those were really appreciating.
Thank you. So nice of you, and very kind of you to say that we've been helpful, and Anik and the rest of the platform. So one of the things what we do on the platform is to make sure that the student is at the center of everything that we do. Their learning is the most important thing. So there is an online chat, there are live sessions, there are recorded videos. There's a peer-to-peer section where you can talk. So can you tell us a little bit about your experience.
That helped me a lot. I was a child who was very confused in, I'm a person who just don't want to learn the upper surface of things. So for instance, I'll be explaining, I'm working on Node.js in OLX right now, or Node.js in JavaScript. So, when I started learning JavaScript in the Edyst platform, I always wanted to know, always wanted to learn that, what is in this library, how this basic library, and what is the infrastructure that works on, right? So I always used to, ping the mentors and again, please tell me how this library works. Please tell me, Asha, this is, there is a main difference in JavaScript, the let and const. So that let and const part was something I was very confused in, and that was the question I was asked in the interview, let me tell you. So I asked that to one of the mentors again and again, what is the difference? Tell me कि हम इसे कहाँ पे use करते हैं, and when we use this and that, and yeah, that was something very helpful. And also there is a feature where you can chat with your friends also, right? You can ask them questions and everything. So that was something helpful for me when I was feeling a little bit, less motivated. There are some times when you don't feel motivated much to, practice and learn about things. So I used to, text any one of my friend or one of my peers, and I said them, you did this. So can you explain me to this na, ki thoda sa mujhe help karo na. So that was something very, very helpful in the Edyst platform.
Wonderful. And we've seen a lot of people who generally stay back on the platform and complete the course are the people who have a lot of peer group supporting them. So the peer learning really helps the people. So you learned advanced algorithms and data structures, did a lot of practice, also picked up a lot of insights from company specific practice. So how was your interview experience from there on?
Okay. So starting from the exam part, in the exam we had 4 to 5 questions for the OLX exam basically, and after that we had 3 interviews, I remember. And let me tell you, the whole trick to the interview is people say it right. It's data structures, and data structures.
Very well said. I hope everybody understands the importance of how to get into your dream companies.
Yeah, absolutely. There are the 3 Ds, and the 3 Ds stands for the data structures. Absolutely. So, when my first interview started off, let me tell you. So there is an advice I would also like to give to my juniors. First of all, now just be prepared for which company you are sitting for. Rather than the domain skills now, you should also be prepared for the JD and for everything you are going for the company. You should know it is a product-based company or a service-based company, because first impression is the last impression. We all know. So let me tell you one experience of mine when we had the pre-talk after the exam. When 20 to 25 students cleared the exam, so we had a pre-talk with the company. And when we went on there, the crew was sitting, the people from OLX, and the very first question they asked, they were like, let's see how much you know about OLX. So the very first question I remember was, where are the headquarters of OLX? So I was the very first person to answer that question, and it's Amsterdam. I always knew it, Amsterdam, because I was so keenly interested, and this was something Anik told us once. I remember we were having a lecture, so Anik told us, you should always know about the JD and about the company you were sitting for. So that was a thing I really appreciate about Anik. And afterwards, talking about the interview, I had 3 interviews. And in the very first interview, I was asked a lot of data structures question. One was from linked list, and I remember, one was from hashtags. So both of the questions, let me tell you, one question I just did 3 days back on the Edyst platform. That was a circular linked list, I remember, And the second one was also something very similar to what I have already done. So those 2, and some similar questions and some little bit questions about MySQL and about SQLize and a little bit of the queries. And moving on to the second interview I had, the second interview was a little bit more difficult, because obviously the second part is always difficult than the first part. So in the second interview, what we had was data structure questions. There were 3 to 4 data structure questions they asked me. And afterwards, they also, I have mentioned it in my resume that I know Node.js, JavaScript, and React.js as well. Because as I already told you, I was very interested in the backend part. I'm also working in the backend part. So they asked me a little bit about the Node.js part, that what is Node.js, why we use Node.js, why we use Express.js with Node.js, and stuff like that. So it was also a good thing that went on. I was able to answer almost all the questions, and in the data structures part, they also helped me just take your time, build the code, and it was a wonderful conversation with the team as well. And afterwards, the third interview was the EM round. They call it as the engineering management round or something like that. And that round was, you call it God's grace or, anything you can say. That was something we were very scared of, because we even never heard of the EM round or something like that, right? So now, first of all, what I did was I texted one of the mentor in the Edyst platform, and I asked them, do you know something about the EM round? So he was very helpful. I remember his name also. The mentor name was Rahul, I think so. Yeah, I don't remember the exact name. I won't lie to you here. So he gave me a PDF. He told me, you just go through this, Ria. And it was the EM round was something, you should, they will be asking you to build a data structure app with like a music application or something like that with a data structure form. So I went through the PDF and I was pretty confident, this is something I can do. So I was like, okay, let's go for it, and let's see what happens next. And by God's grace, when I went there, they asked me some questions on my projects. I also built some projects previously. I had 5 to 6 projects in the e-commerce website and the Camp Connect project and etc. We also had to build projects in the Edyst platform in our exams and everything. So yeah, I had those projects as well with me. So we discussed the projects, and we discussed something about me. I have been honored by the Indian government several times. So they discussed that with me. It was mentioned in my resume. And afterwards, they asked me some questions about data structures. And then there was some HR questions, and yeah, we were done. So nothing difficult I felt, but yeah, the third round was also the elimination round. It wasn't an HR round, so I was really scared. So I still remember we started on 6th May in the morning, 9 a.m. and at 11:30 p.m. I was placed. I got the message that congratulations, you have got into OLX.
Wonderful. What a wonderful, what an inspiring journey you have had.
Yeah.
It goes without saying, I can tell you this. So for all the other people who might be listening, there's a lot of hard work that you put in, and it's obvious. Good things don't come easy.
It's always the blessings and the help of the teachers, the people like you. We had the very first conversation when I started the Edyst platform. I remember you gave us a speech and you had some doubt sessions with us, and that day I also took a promise myself I am going to have a conversation with this man when I am into some company, and see, this comes true. Everything comes true.
It's the pleasure is all mine, Riya. The pleasure is all mine, and it's such a humbling experience for us that sincere, hardworking students like you make it. And trust me, Riya, mark my words, this is just the beginning of a phenomenal career you're going to have.
Absolutely.
You have such a long runway, whether it's your career or sometime in your future you want to be an entrepreneur. But I think the hard work and your dedication, and I think you were very, very disciplined in terms of you want to finish certain course curriculum by the time, deliver the projects, deploy the projects on time, and so on and so forth. So if you had to give some piece of advice to your juniors in terms of the preparation, how long should they work? Some of the standard questions I get is, how long is the course? How many hours should I practice? When should I start the practice? What's some of your advice, best practices for your friends?
Okay, so now let me tell you something about me. I am a writer. Rather than being a tech person, I'm a professional and a passionate writer. When I was 8 years old, I've been starting writing since then. So this is something I would advise to everybody around there as well. With your course curriculum now, be little bit in anything else also. Concentrate on something else also. This is something I like also. I like doing rather than my studies. So yeah, this is also a piece of advice. And persuading the curriculum and everything. First of all, the piece of advice I would like to give to my juniors is for the interviews basically is confidence. You should first of all absolutely get rid of the fear of losing, and obviously the Edyst platform is gonna prepare you for the interviews. So listen to them very carefully, listen to every word your teacher says, especially Anik says it, just have it whole heart in your body. So I think, confidence is the most crucial part one should possess apart from the domain skills, first of all. And because, at the end of the day, this is what matters, and how you present it to the recruiters and how you handle the situation. And coming to the curriculum, preparation is everything. Trust me. You must have heard that quote that bleed before the war. So you have to bleed before the war, right? So bleed before the war basically here means, you start. This is not something, I haven't started in my second year, or I wasn't known to things in my first year. I was also didn't knew things to my first year, right? I started preparing when I was in my second year. So I basically started initiating things, and I already told you I was very confused, jumping one platform to another, and practicing from different platforms to different platforms. Geek for Geeks was also very helpful. But then when I encountered Edyst, that was something obviously वो बोलते हैं ना कि हमारे हिंदी में it is said that जब जागो तब सवेरा. So that is something I really felt when I met Edyst. Oh my God, I have been awakened now. जब जागो तब सवेरा is true for me. So I started it in the end of my second year, probably the data structure I started. But then I was very confused. So I shifted to the Node.js and everything. And after I met Edyst, I was pretty clear that, from here I can absolutely learn data structures. So in the very start of my third year, when I encountered Edyst, I used to practice data structures for about 4 hours a day. I would be very honest with you. Almost 4 hours a day I used to practice, and being very honest here to my juniors, I was in the very start not able to solve questions of array also. I was not able to do that because some questions were like there is a question in array where you have to swap also. It is very basic question and you can do it in the array part also. So I was not able to do that on the very second or third day of my practice. So it's okay. If you are not able to do it, it's not like you have to be demotivated. कि यार मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है. It's not like that. I ask the mentors, I seek help. Okay, you should seek help. You shouldn't be proud of yourself कि मुझे नहीं आता है तो I won't ask for help. No, this is not something you should go for. So I asked for help and I practiced. I gave 4 hours for my data structure daily. So there was a rule for me, the 3-question rule. The 3-question rule is I daily used to practice 3 questions, 3 standardized questions of data structures daily. मुझसे होते थे नहीं होते थे, that's different part. But I daily used to do 3 questions of data structures, and at the end of the day, I used to evaluate. I'm a very to-do person, list wala person. So I used to evaluate. I learned 3 questions from the Edyst platform, and 3 में से 1 I asked to the mentor, and for the next part I asked it to my friend कि इसमें क्या formula use होगा, मतलब क्या data structure लगेगा, and then I proceeded it. So it's okay. I asked 2 now, but I did the 1. So I was happy for the 1 also. Yeah. And there was the time when I, used to grab the questions of data structure of graphs and trees as well. Trust me, I was asked graphs and trees and hash map a lot in my interview time. In my second interview, I was asked it. Absolutely, I was. So that was something I went for. And, there is also something I would like to advise that if you get bored from the data structure part, suppose you are studying for 4 hours data structure, you're studying it daily, you're obviously going to get bored now because this is something it gets in your mind, you also get demotivated. So now divide the parts. You study it for 2 hours, take a break for 15 minutes, relax, and then study Node.js or study React.js. Study something else. I used to do that. I used to do the similar thing. I used to do 2 hours data structure, then 2 hours JavaScript. Then I took a break, did my lunch. And after lunch, I then again did my data structures. Or if I wanted to do my React.js, I did that, or then my data structure, like that. So I used to take turns for the study of mine. So that is something you should also try. It's gonna work, I think.
And were there other friends along with you who were in the same regime along with you, trying to do the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me tell you, I have a friend, his name is Raghav, and he is also placed, and he actually got placed before me.
In OLX only?
No, he didn't got placed in OLX. He got placed in, I think so, DDN. Yeah, DDN storage he got placed in. And we had a friend named Harsh, and we had a friend named Deepak also. We 3-4, we used to set time ki, acha, aaj tujhe pata hai, maine 3 questions kiye. I did 6. Oh my God. So, we had a safer competition, a healthy competition in between us. And we were also there for each other at every time. If I am stuck here, he or she is going to help you. Wonderful. So yeah, a healthy friendship always matters. Yeah.
And we've consistently seen this, Riya, that if that's what we call the power of peer learning. If you have a healthy peer group supporting each other, they always make it to the finish line, and they make it wonderfully well.
Surely.
So wonderful, Riya. So congratulations once again. So you're in the first stage of your career. One tick on your bucket list that you want to start off your career.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what are the other things on your bucket list? What else do you want to do, whether it's work or otherwise?
Yeah. Okay. So starting with this, I just told you, right? I'm a writer. So I am a writer, and I have been, writing a lot of books in my teens also. I have 6 books in the market by my name already. And I am a national and a world record holder also. So I am right now with my tech stack, I am preparing for Guinness Book of World Record. So this is a big tick I want in my bucket list. So from God's grace and from your blessings, by the end of the next year, I try to be a Guinness Book of World Record holder as well. So yeah, that is something very crucial for me. And yeah, apart from this, talking about the technology part, I won't mention OLX only. I also got offers from some big tech giant companies also. rather than OLX, because OLX was a campus placement.
Correct.
So rather than a campus placement with the Edyst platform, now in the Edyst platform there is a corner where you get notifications about other companies, right? So I applied for Amazon, Amazon's Wow internship for the women. I also got into that. I made into that, and but that was something when I signed my offer letter, so that I wasn't allowed for that, absolutely. And OLX is obviously a blessing. So I am also, preparing myself for the fan also. I am wishing to be there in the next 5 years. And my brother he's now going to be an architect in IBM. He's going to be a technology architect. So this is something I want to achieve, absolutely. And I think with the courses and everything in Edyst, I can absolutely achieve that, because, an architect should be very prominent in every tech stack, in every technology, right? So this is something I want to achieve in the next 5 or 10 years. I want to see there. I want to see myself there. I want to learn every technology I can. Really, I am so in love with technologies. And being a writer, I'm a person who just literally reads everything. Golang is something very much going on in the market by Google, TypeScript, and I have been learning that so deeply. And the people out there in OLX, the people in Edyst, and my brother, my friends, every person has been supporting me throughout. And trust me, this is an amazing life I always wanted.
Touch wood, and may this be the beginning of a wonderful life and a career, both professionally and personally for you. Thank you so much, Ria, for your time, and we wish you all the very best. And looking forward to staying connected with you to hear about your journey.
Please do.
And all the very, very best for your dreams, and especially the Guinness Book of World Records. We'll all be cheering for you when you do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.